characters? Well, I'll just go down the list. So today you got to play as Hyde. Hyde is our new assault character. He is a salty dog. His main weapon is he has a flamethrower attached to his sort of big fist glove, and that is the most powerful weapon in the game. It is also has the shortest range in the game. Hyde's kind of a up in your face, let's get in a brawl kind of a character. Then we've got Lazarus. Lazarus is our new medic. So you may remember Val. Val was our medic that we talked about previously. She was very straightforward. She would just point her med gun at you and you would get healed. Lazarus can't do that. In fact, Lazarus isn't very good at healing at all. But what he does do is that after you die, he brings you back from the dead. He's got the big glove called the Lazarus device. So that can be really annoying for the monster when he thinks he's killed 3 guys and he turns around to get the last one, and next thing he knows, there's 3 guys that are back up. Let's see here. Then we've got our support character. His name is Bucket, and Bucket is a robot. Bucket is actually got a lot of personality. He's a really fun character. One of the things he can do is he can take his head and pop it off and fly it around the world as a UAV. So he's able to sort of fly really fast, and sort of spot the monster for the team. He's also got some sentry guns. He can pop out sort of like little mini buckets that will just sit there, and he can create like a very dangerous kill zone, for the monster to fight in. These guys will just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. And then the last character is, last but certainly not least, is Maggie. She's our new trapper. Maggie has a pet trap jaw. I think that's the first thing you notice about her. Trap jaws are indigenous wildlife to the planet that we're playing on, the planet Sheer. And basically, Maggie has tamed one and made her pet. The trap jaw's name is Daisy. And Daisy basically is like a big horse-sized lizard dog. And she acts a lot like a dog, right? She basically tracks for the hunters. And the great thing about Daisy is that while most of the trappers have to follow the tracks, and sort of follow the clues that the monster has left for them, Daisy can sniff them out and take a more direct route to wherever the monster is. And even if the monster's in stealth and not leaving footprints, Daisy can still track him through smell. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, well, I mean, Kraken he's really cool. So, we've already seen Goliath, right? Goliath is our bashy, brawler kind of a monster. Kraken is different. He can fly, first of all, which adds a whole new level of stealth for him, because he can fly, he's not leaving prints for the monster or for the hunters to track. He's also tends to like to be at range. He's got a lot of ranged attacks, and that's where his strength is. So he doesn't have as much sort of health and staying power as the Goliath has. So he likes to hang back and throw attacks at you. He's got a lightning bolt that he can basically, it sort of focuses down over a period of time, and he can aim it. And then anyone that is near that lightning bolt is taking a lot of damage. So yeah, but I mean, he's got some other great attacks. He's got his Banshee mines, which are really great for laying traps for the hunters, to stumble upon as they're tracking him. It's also really handy for dropping them on incapacitated hunters. So I don't want you to pick that guy up. I'm going to drop Banshee mines on him. He's got his Vortex, which basically is kind of a get back kind of attack. He uses it and it shoots out and it pushes the hunters away from him. And his last attack is a big sort of like burst of energy that comes out and hits all the guys sort of in his radius. He kind of goes up and does this big sort of heroic pose and then kind of explodes with energy. And it does a whole lot of damage. Sure. I mean, I think what Evolve offers is something that really nobody else is offering. I mean, one, it's a true competitive or a true cooperative experience, right? I mean, in that we're not just throwing you into the same arena and saying, hey, everyone go kill that guy, right? You actually have to work together as a team to be successful, right? You need coordination, you need communication. Each class on the hunter has a very specific job on the team. So, I mean, this is a true cooperative experience. I mean, who doesn't want to fight a gigantic, growing alien monster, right? I mean, the unique thing about the monster is that he starts a little bit of a disadvantage, right, at stage 1, but then, if he's successful and he's sneaky, right, and grows, then he kind of becomes the hunters become the hunted, and the monster. I think that we're offering something that nobody else is offering, and I'm after seeing the reaction that we're getting at the show, I'm not really very worried. People seem to love what we're doing, so and that's awesome. It makes me feel really good. Yes. We are going to ship the game with 12 hunters. That's 3 for each class, and we're going to have 3 monsters. So yeah, we still have 1 monster lurking in the shadows, waiting to be. Yeah, well, we started development on the last generation, but the thing that we were finding is this. For the game that we wanted to make and sort of the mechanics that we're working on, in terms of we need a very lush, full world, right, to give the monster a lot of places to hide, and then we also need a lot of power to run all the AIs that we're pushing, because all the wildlife is AI driven. And the thing that we were finding on the previous gen is that we were having to make a lot of sacrifices that we really didn't want to make, and I think if we had stuck with the plan to release on the previous gen, I think that the experience would have been harmed by the sort of the compromises we would have had to make to get it to actually run on those systems. The new gen, has a lot more powerful boxes, so we can do a lot of really great things in them. And once they were announced, that was sort of when we're like, okay, next gen's announced, let's look at them. Yeah, I think we're going to want to go next gen. I don't have a PS4 yet, and I don't have an Xbox One yet either. So, I'm not actually sure what I know that we've been talking about that, but we haven't really talked about any specific plans for it just yet. So I don't know that I can really answer the question. How do we balance? Yeah. So. One, we play the game every night. Most of the people in the studio are playing the game every night. So, and we've been doing that for over 3 years. So, we're getting a lot of information from that. We've got a really nice sort of robust telemetry system where we're gathering, all the data from all our matches. We can go back and play matches back and sort of look and see what happened. So we're getting a lot of information from there. And initially, that's where we're doing all of our, we're looking at that data. And we're talking to people in the studio. Anyone who plays the game, we ask them, "Hey, what'd you think?" And so after 3 years, we're feeling pretty good about the balance of the game. And we will continue to balance until ship, and then after ship. To be perfectly honest, we will put it out there, and people will do stuff with it we never expected, and we'll compensate for that. Or maybe it'll be cool, and we'll add more of it. I mean, once we release the game, it's not our game anymore. It's the community's game. Right, and so we got to wait and see what they do with it, and I'm really actually excited to see. We are, at our heart and soul, we are a cooperative, multiplayer game. Now, that does not mean that anyone who buys it and plays it single player is going to have a bad experience. We never had set out to make a big sort of epic single-player campaign, right? I mean, that's not what we want to play. That's not, what we do. That's not our strength. So, but we made sure that one, you could, if you're by yourself, you can fill up all the other slots with AIs. If it's you and 3 of your friends and you just want to fight an AI monster, that's cool. If you just unlocked a new monster and you want to try them out right before you take them online, you can set all the hunters to be AIs, so that you can just go in and fight AIs and sort of get used to the monster and practice. And any combination in between, right? And if you have an empty slot, you can put an AI in it or not. And then we've got some other stuff that we're not given very many details about that, like I said, it's not a huge single-player campaign, but I think it is something that will be very cool and gratifying for people to play on their own. Yes, you can play with any number of bots. Like I said, any combination, of any empty slot can be filled with a bot, and we'll give you control over that. So if you really just want to play by yourself, you can do it. So maybe, the thing is that we've already seen, some games at the show that are doing a 4 versus 1 thing. I don't think they're doing it quite the way we are, but, that's good. Competition's good, variety is good, makes the gaming in general better. I feel like, the experience that we're giving, I think, is a very unique experience, and I haven't seen anyone else offering something like that. And if other games pick it up, then that's cool. We're fine with that. We make the games we want to play. We don't look at what everyone else is doing. It's my partner and I, Chris. We sit down and we say, hey, what do we want to make? A lot of times it happens over lunch. We're like, this game that's out, right? There's this one little kernel of brilliance in an otherwise sort of mediocre game. They could have just taken that and expanded on it and made an awesome game. Sometimes that's where our ideas come from. Most of the time our ideas are, what I really want to do? I want to do X, right? Why hasn't anyone made it so that I can do that yet? And that's where Left 4 Dead came from. That's where Evolve came from. And we're just going to keep our heads down and keep banging on it and making it awesome. And, let everyone else do what they do. The beards. So it's kind of like playoff beards. It's kind of a solidarity thing in the studio. Basically, what we're doing is we're calling it No Shave Till Ship. We printed out a big contract and hung it on the wall, and everyone, about 32 guys signed it. And basically what we're saying is we're not shaving our face till this game ships. And then when we do, at the end, when we do ship it, we're going to measure everyone's beard, and for every inch of beard that we've grown, we're going to give $50 to Child's Play. And we've even got a version for the women in this studio as well. We're calling that No Clip Till Ship. And basically, the girls that signed that aren't cutting their hair, and then whenever we ship, it's at their discretion how much hair they cut. But for every inch of hair they cut, we're another $50 for Child's Play. It's fun, it's good. It's a good sort of team exercise, and I think at the end of the day, right before Christmas, is a great time to help some sick kids. Yeah.